Hey, what's up? My name is Chris Gonzalez and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be discussing my thoughts and opinions about the latest comic book issues that I picked up at my comic shop this past Wednesday, and this was the week of October 22nd, 2025. I picked up a couple physical copies. Well, actually, I picked up more physical copies, but I'm going to be doing a separate video on all the X-Men Revelation #1. So that's going to be all one video from every single title from the event. So those won't be included in this video, but I'll be doing the others that are not tied to that event. So in that case, I picked up 2 physical editions, physical comics, and I've read 3 digital. And yeah, so the first one I'm going to be talking about is Escape #3 by writer Rick Remender, Daniel Acuna. He does the art and the coloring on this, and the letterer is Russ Wooten. It is published by Image Comics and under the Rick Remender's Giant Generator imprint over at Image. So yeah, I've been loving this series since issue 1. Issue 1, I thought it was cool. I thought it was like the artwork was great. Acuna's, he really puts you in that world, even though it's not really World War I or World War II. The artwork puts you in, like, you feel like you're in there. And the first issue pretty much went over our main protagonist. His name is Milton. He's some type of dog, and it went over his crew, and it just, in one issue, I was invested in his whole crew, and there's hardly any backstory. So then I give that a lot to Rick Remender's script for making me care that much about characters that I barely knew. So first issue I thought was good, and then the second issue really dove into Milton's past and his relationship with his wife, and that was just a beautiful issue. I thought sorry if you heard that. That was someone behind me. I'll cut that out. But yeah, the second issue was really great. It was really a beautiful story about Milton's past and his relationship with his wife. Ruth is her name, and I just thought that second issue really hooked me into this series and convinced me I had to get this series in singles. So yeah, I highly recommend it. And issue 3 was just as good. Maybe not as good as issue 2, but it was another solid issue. I mean, in this issue, and I'm gonna try to keep it light on spoilers, but it's been out for a few days, and by the time this video goes up, it would almost be a week. But so yeah, this whole issue is just Milton. He's behind enemy lines in this fictional country, and he is on the run, evading the enemies. And yeah, he hides in this abandoned house. This guy, he's on the look, and Daniel Acuna's artwork, in this issue, especially how he used the color black and just the inking he does, with the dark colors, to emphasize that Milton it's pitch black outside. Milton's running for his life. He can't see. We're supposed to barely see what's going on, but yeah, just the artwork was really solid. The coloring as well by Daniel Acuna. I mean, he's doing an A1 job. And then yeah, just the Rick Remender script, he's one of my favorite writers, and with his dialogue, just it gave me the sense of tension and you're in Milton's thoughts as he's trying to evade and survive this encounter with the enemies, and it's just the escalation of the tension just keeps going up and up. And Rick Remender, he did just an amazing job of detailing that, the way Milton, our main character, was running for his life pretty much. And yeah, he's just, when you think this team put our boy Milton in the ringer. But yeah, man, just check out this artwork. And the Russ Wooten, his lettering just elevated Rick Remender's script and just the whole atmosphere of what the story is in. And I just thought, again, very beautiful. And I'm not going to spoil the rest, but it's just pretty much Milton. He's on a run. He's just evading and trying to survive and just getting caught up in these life or death moments. And it's just, the artwork is incredible. I highly recommend this. This is like it could be my pick of the week. But yeah, I definitely recommend Escape. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do the whole ratings things, but if I were to number it, I would give it like an 8.5 out of 10. It was really good. Okay, and the second physical comic that I got this week, Green Lantern number 28, and the writer is Jeremy Adams, and the artist on this issue is V. Ken Marion. Colorist is Romula Fajardo Jr., and again, letterer David Sharp, and the primary artist Zermanico did the cover. I love Zermanico's artwork. I became a really big fan. But yeah, I've been loving Jeremy Adams' Green Lantern. This is, to be honest, my first Green Lantern run that I'm actually reading in singles. I started like at 20 something because my comic book shop during Free Comic Book Day, well, my old comic book shop on Free Comic Book Day, were selling like back issues for $1, so I got pretty much most of the singles for Green Lantern, and then I got some off of eBay, and now I'm caught up. I have all the cover A's for every issue of Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps. So the plot in this book, it's pretty much the start of a brand new arc. We're coming off of the Starbreaker Supremacy crossover event with Green Lantern Corps, and this takes place during the aftermath. We start with Guy Gardner and Joe Mullen on the planet that they were fighting the Starbreaker Corps at. And yeah, they're looking for the Book of Oa because the Starbreakers were trying to do something with it, and they find something really interesting. They find that Hal Jordan, his name is in there. And why is it in there? Because this book was supposed to be forged like billions of years ago. So something's up with that. And then it jumps to Hal back in Coast City. And this sequence was really fun. It just showcases Hal's wit, his humor, and his sarcastic nature of just dealing with this bad guy. He swings him all through the Coast City very dangerously, so the guy's like about to throw up. But yeah, it's just really fun. The artwork, I mean, I do miss Zermanico on artwork, but this was pretty fun, very anime-like, and the colors are really nice, and I like this little design right here. So yeah, Hal gets called back to Oa because Guy and Joe have to tell him what's up with the Book of Oa, and then we jump to Superboy and Kyle, training Kyle's White Lantern abilities, and again, very fun. So I got to talk to Jeremy Adams at New York Comic Con for a little bit, and he gave me some insight into what we could be expecting in the future in this series, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but he told me that Kyle, my boy, Kyle's my favorite Green Lantern, but yeah, Kyle Rayner is going to be a major focus in the future, so probably in the near distant future. So yeah, very fun. Kyle pretty much goes Super Saiyan.
Hey, my friend, let me ask you, does a machine like yourself ever experience fear? him too!
You know who joined the Super Saiyan Club?
And just, test his abilities on Superboy. And yeah, Hal comes back to Oa, and then, he goes and meets with a guy in Jessica Cruz, who's like been anointed the leader of the Green Lantern Corps for now. And Jessica pretty much tells Hal, like, hey man, you need to slow down. We just went through all that we went through with the Starbreakers, and now this book is like calling you. And so Hal looks at the book and he gets like attacked. Something happens where Hal gets incapacitated by looking at the book, and then the Guardians who came back, there's something with the Guardians, so that I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah, something happens with the Guardians while Hal, something's going on that's tied with Hal, and the Guardians know what's up. So yeah, and then throughout the last events, this entity, Krona, he, I guess, was in Teenage Green Lantern, I forgot her name, I think Kelly, Kelly, he was like, his consciousness was in her glove, and then now he was released, he escapes, and yeah, I guess he's trying to manifest and find a host body. But yeah, and then it was a fun issue. This was a really fun issue. Again, start of a new arc. You can start up here. You might be a little lost, but highly recommend. I give it like a solid 8, 7 point, or 7.5. So yeah, this is really good. I've been enjoying. It's just a fun time, and that's what comics should be about. So highly recommend Jeremy Adams' Green Lantern. So the third issue I read this week, and it's the first one I read digitally, is Detective Comics number 1102. It's the second part of this new arc. Writer is Tom Taylor. Mikhail Janin, I don't know how to pronounce it, does the artwork. He also does the colors, and he did the cover to this one. And the letterer is Wes Abbott. And yeah, I've been really digging Tom Taylor's run on Detective Comics, and I waited until the trade. I jumped on like about 4 or 5 issues into his run. I was reading them digitally, so I went back. I got the first trade for the run, and I thought it was really solid. Mikhail Janet's artwork has just been perfection, and he did on the coloring as well. He just creates this mood and atmosphere that's so essentially Batman to me, and it's gritty. His artwork is gritty. It's just I've been loving it. And Tom Taylor, to be honest, I'm not too familiar with his work. I never read anything he's done. I do have his Nightwing, the Omnibus Volume 1. I do have it. I plan on getting Volume 2, but from what I've read from his Detective Comics run so far, and I'm a fan of Nightwing, I know I'll probably love it, especially with Bruno Redondo's artwork. So I've heard mixed things, but I can't wait to read it. But back to Detective Comics, it's just been solid. So in this issue, Batman, he's just been infected with this virus. Mr. Terrific has put him in quarantine, and he has less than 2 days to, figure out what's going on, because this virus, it's a threat to Gotham. So he looks into it. He finds out that this company could be behind it, so it's in a different country. So in the most of this issue, he is Bruce Wayne. He uses his undercover skills as Bruce Wayne. So he goes to this other country, and his alibi is he's meeting with an old girlfriend to get in league with this guy named Lewis King. He is owner of this company that Mr. Terrific, or no, that Oracle traced back to. So Batman goes to this guy's estate, or something that somewhere that this guy owns, and they get into a poker game because apparently this guy he's a billionaire, and he obtained his fortune through gambling. So Bruce goes to meet with this guy, with this lady, and they have a poker game, and Bruce is just trying to get more information about this guy, and Oracle does some background investigation into him and finds out that anything she finds has been either fabricated by AI or something's not aligning. So it's just the artwork just really sells this story, and I've been loving this run. So Batman gets into a confrontation with Lewis, and his villain name is the Lion. He has pretty cool designs, pretty simple, but and he beats the shit out of Batman. Excuse my language, but he just beats him pretty bad, and then something happens where Batman, like, the time is going on. The clock is ticking, because what this virus does, it eliminates all fear within the user or within the affected, and so Batman, and then they pretty much go insane. So he doesn't have enough time. So we'll see. Again, really fun run. The whole Batman book, most of the Batman books at DC right now have been killing it. This Detective Comics run, I know we're only 2 issues in, but Matt Fraction's mainline Batman run with Jorge Jimenez has been awesome. Obviously, Absolute Batman by Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta. Batman and Robin Year 1, Mark Waid and Chris Samney, Batman Dark Patterns, Dan Waters and Hayden Sherman. Just all great Batman books, and kudos to the people at DC. I actually met the editor of the Batman comics, and his name is Rob Levin. I actually met him briefly, and I just told him that, man, you guys, most of the Bat books have been awesome. You guys are killing it. So shout out to DC for DC's been killing it. They're producing great stories, and I'm all for this all-in era. Okay, the second digital DC comic that I read this week was Justice League Unlimited number 12. Justice League Unlimited number 12, written by Mark Waid. Artist is Dan Mora. Tamara Bonvillain is doing the colors, and Ariana Mayer on the lettering. So it's the start of a new arc, but it's also a tie-in to the DCKO event that just started earlier this month, and I thought it was an okay issue. Personally, the whole DCKO event, the first issue of DCKO was cool, but I need to see how it progresses. The premise is silly, but it's also pretty fun, so we'll see how it happens. But this is the tie-in issue to that event, while the main hitters of the Justice League are off and away, in the tournament, trying to obtain the title of King Omega. The rest of the Justice League has to deal with some issues going on with Earth. Not only do they have to evacuate the whole planet, super villains that weren't caught up in the tournament, even like level C or D grade villains, they were receiving a power-up through a demon that they made a deal with, and they're pretty much trying to find a safe haven in hell. So Mr. Terrific, since all the heavy hitters are, off away fighting, he has to form a team. And he forms a new team of a version of Power Girl, Aquaman, a version of Aquaman. He has the hook and the beard and the long hair. The warrior version of Guy Gardner. Female version of Dr. Fate. I believe her name's Sophia. Owl Woman from the future. Tim Drake version of Batman Beyond from Future State. Superman Blue from Grant Morrison's run, I think, on JLA. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I know he's in Morrison's JLA run. And what else? I think that's it. And then, of course, Mr. Terrific is leading the team. And yeah, so they have to go to Earth or go to Hell to stop this demon from, wreaking havoc while everything is just up in flames on planet Earth while it's being potentially terraformed into the new apocalypse. So I'm curious to see what this new team is, how they're gonna work together. The issue it highlights some of the members of the team more than others. There's a page on Power Girl, a couple pages on Aquaman as he goes to Atlantis, and there was a really I did appreciate the moment with Guy, his younger self as Warrior. He goes to see, I guess his then girlfriend at the time was Ice, of Fire and Ice, and they had a really touching moment. So I'm a fan of Wade's writing, and that moment in his script was really good. And Dan Mora on art, I mean, come on, he's like the main artist at DC right now. He's doing really well. And yeah, so this is part 1 of the Terrific 10. So there's 10 members. Let me see who else is on let me see if I forgot anybody who's on the team. Oh, and then there's Kanthar. He's like a Thanagarian, he's from a different planet, but he's pretty much an ancestor of Hawkman. And and Alan Scott, I believe the Kingdom Come version of Alan Scott, like a really old version. But yeah, it wasn't really highlighted in this issue. Neither was Superman. It was mostly Aquaman, Power Girl, and Guy Gardner as Warrior, and a little bit. But I'm curious. I'm interested in this team up. They're all displaced in time, so they can't go back to their timeline. It's explained in this issue, Mr. Terrific, that they're pretty much, and I'll slight spoiler here, so they're like quantum ghosts existing apart from the heroes that they represent. So it's like they're pretty much like in the MCU, they're variants and they can't go back to their timeline. So they're pretty much going to go in a suicide mission to Hell, to stop this potential threat. So I'm curious to see how this arc continues. I'd give it probably a 7.5 out of 10 if I were to rate it. But again, Dan Moore is a great artist, and yeah, I'm curious. So I've been this Justice League run, I've read most of it. It's been okay. Not my favorite title at DC right now, but it's been consistently good. So I'd recommend it, especially if you're reading everything DC KO.